Maybe I feel like it was one of the. Was it not the Broncos? It was the Bengals. Wasn't the Bengals? No.
The Bengals are just Siberia in general.
Yeah, that's the team.
The Bengals are Siberia for winning. The Bengals are like when you don't want to get off the bus and you're going up north. And you don't want to get off the bus in Cahuenga Junction.
Wow.
It just smells like shit and methane everywhere.
Wow.
A burger is $18.
Wow. I think you had an experience.
You ain't never took a mega bus or any kind of bus up past Cahuenga Junction up north going back to the Bay Area?
No, I haven't taken the bus to the Bay Area. I always just
take a bus ride. Just take a mega bus ride. It's only $26. It's not comfortable.
I drive.
You would have been San Jose. Exactly. You wanted to drive. Have somebody pick you up. You would have been to West Oakland BART station.
I definitely have, and I definitely try to make it quick, and I hope that
one side is hood, the other side
Pleasanton BART comes through so I can get off the Coliseum because that shit is ghetto as fuck too.
Yeah, I wonder if Pete's on BART right now.
Oh, I
wonder if he is. I know he's turning up at that tailgate right now. He better come back with stories.
Yeah.
But anyway, next one. Mitch Trubisky's trash. That's the point. That was my tangent.
So, Cleveland Browns head coach Freddie Kitchens was on a radio show on Wednesday, and I guess he was asked about the quarterbacks Baker Mayfield's his completion percentage, which is pretty poor.
58.7. It's like the lowest among all starting quarterbacks.
And he said, quote, "There's a lot of factors that go into that. I don't think he's wildly missing passes. I don't really look into that," he said before adding, "I truly do not look at stats."
He doesn't look at stats, everybody. He doesn't look at stats. Freddie Kitchens, the guy who looked at stats last year to put Baker Mayfield in a winning position, doesn't look at stats this year. I wouldn't either. They haven't won many games. Their tackles are trash. When they give Carlos Hyde the ball, they shut out the whole rest of the offense. You have an all-pro receiver in Odell Beckham Jr. who hasn't been a locker room distraction other than the fact that the NFL is targeting him for all the cleats he wears, even though he said he agreed. He talked to the league and Nike and everybody, and they had agreements on the cleats and gear that he was wearing before the season even started, which is already, like, that's foul to do that to him. And the fact that he's missing a wide-open all-pro wide receiver in his prime, it's disgusting. Baker Mayfield is the reason Cleveland is terrible. And then I got to look at the GM. Former Kansas City Chiefs GM. Forgetting his name right now. But I got to look at the GM and say, you picked a guy who was a good offensive coordinator to be the head coach, and he's really not the man to lead this team. And it's showing. And it's sad. Because Cleveland should be better than what they are. All that talent on offense, yeah, David Njoku got hurt. But you got a stud tight end, 2 stud receivers, good backup receivers, and you're not winning. I don't understand it. And he should look at the stats because, boy, whatever he's drawing up, it's not working. Shout out to Baker Mayfield for cutting off his handlebar mustache.
Oh, well, I guess I'm not introducing that topic.
Yep, that's another thing I do to Pete sometimes. I just combine shit and go on a super tangent.
Okay, so you know what's crazy? My roommate, my best friend, Britt, she's a Broncos fan.
Ha!
I know. The one that came with me. I don't know if you remember it. The person that came with me to your guys'
give her my condolences.
Yeah.
The Joshua Daly event.
Yeah, so she was I was sitting here like, she was like, "Oh, they scored." And I was like, "Man, it's just the first quarter. Like, y'all know how the Broncos are." Like, and they actually won against the Browns. And
hope she enjoys that win.
Yeah.
It's the only one she's getting this year.
I mean,
sorry.
What's their record now? Before it wasn't like 2-5. What's the record now? 3-5 now.
Probably 3-5, but it doesn't matter. They're not making the playoffs. They're irrelevant. Joe Flacco trashed the offense and said that they're not doing shit. But Joe, you suck as a quarterback. That's why their offense is doing anything.
He said he didn't deserve it.
And then he got put on IR.
That's funny.
For a back injury.
I can't believe he said that he didn't deserve it.
Who didn't deserve it?
Baker's Mayfield. He said I didn't deserve it.
Yeah, he said he shaved off his handlebar mustache because he didn't deserve it.
It's just funny to me that
damn right he didn't. You, as a man, you don't deserve this mustache. You don't deserve this beard. You shave it. You earn it back. So yeah, that's what his ass gets. But anyway, something I forgot from college football news. Rest in peace to freshman defensive lineman Najee Flowers. He died. He played for New Mexico. Didn't really say much. They rescheduled the game between New Mexico and Air Force. So yeah, condolences to him and his family. And I'm gonna stop talking, and you can go on, your rant.
Okay. So you spent a lot of truth earlier when you were talking about them firing the coach, and how you're saying that like black coaches don't get the recognition and for setting that standard and setting that, and how white people go and steal that shit. And it's so funny because I was literally ranting not that long ago before I came here, and I told my friend Britt, I was like, that's gonna be my rant tonight. I'm always on YouTube.
Sir got a rant?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was on YouTube, and here and there, I'm guilty. I don't listen to the Joe Rogan podcast, but I listen to clips because I like to listen to his the people he brings on there, the guests that he brings, because most of them are probably right, conservative thinkers, and they got some outlandish shit to say. He will definitely suck their ass and agree to what they're saying. But basically, long story short, he was trying to say, no, not trying. He basically said that cultural appropriation is like basically a myth. Like it's just bullshit. And like how it's outlandish that, there's people in uproar about white girls wearing hoop earrings and box braids and stuff. And I was explaining to my friend, I was like, it goes deeper than just what you wear. I don't mind, like I told my friend, we agreed on this. I don't mind you appreciate it, but don't appropriate it. Don't take it and turn it into something that you guys just made trendy all of a sudden, even though we were rocking it. And it's a part of our identity. And he was trying to say, oh, well, they should go back all the way to the whatever times, like the caveman times, like the Mesopotamians or whatever he was saying. And I was just like, now I hate when, like, it just made me so frustrated because Joe Rogan just gives a platform to all these white privileged fucking white boys who are mad at the fucking world because now they're giving more opportunities to people and they have less opportunity to have an advantage on another person. And it's just crazy that we're in 2019 and we still have to put our foot down and say, no, that shit actually does exist because Kim Kardashian and Bella Hadid or whatever fucking model, white girl model can, all these white people can wear these things and it looks cool, it looks trendy, it looks hip. But when we have our hoop earrings on and when I have my fro on my, like wear my fro out, or whenever I have my box braids, you're going to look at me and assume that I'm going to act a certain way or be a certain way and associate with me with being ghetto or whatever. And yet Sally Mae or whoever, Ashley, spelled Leigh, so she a little shithead. Ashley can wear these fucking box braids and look cute and trendy, but when whoever Shay is wearing it, down over there on Crenshaw and Imperial, she ghetto as fuck. And it's like, I mean, it's just crazy to me that, like, this nigga really tries to sit here and say cultural appropriation is...
You just called him the N-word.
Sorry, well, he acting like a nigga. Even though he may not be a black person, well, he acting like a nigga. And the definition of a nigga or a nigger is an ignorant person, right?
Technically, the definition of the word, it means negus, which means God, which is what black people call themselves. Like,
no, that's some Hotep. That's some Hotep.
No, like the origins of the word date back to Spain and other parts of England and the Moors, and they literally called them like...
I'm going to have to confirm that.
It's public knowledge.
Okay.
Just look up the origin of the word.
Yeah, I know that.
And negus and all that. Yeah, like it dates back to Africa. It's something that ancient Africans called themselves, but other people use it as a slur against us. So now it's like we feel guilty using it, but really it just means either victim of white supremacy or like when you're talking to another black person and you say that, it's a term of endearment.
Right.
It's just like...
Again, that's what I mean.
But when other people say it, it's like you don't get to say that because your people said that in the name of murder and genocide. Right. When you said that, that's why white people can't say nigga to me because I will beat the hell out of you. Like,
exactly.
I'll play that.
So that's
male or female, you will get slapped.
And it may not be, again, it may not equate exactly to the same thing to what you're saying, but it resonated with me a little bit because I was like, wow, like, it is such a pattern for white people to go and sit there and watch us do things and be infatuated how we do things, admire it, and then fucking venture on it, fucking take it from us and pretend it was their own. And, like, it just frustrated me that right after, you know, this guy is saying, like, oh, it's just... There's no such thing as that. Why is there such uproar? There's uproar because I don't care if whoever's wearing hoop earrings. I don't care about that. It's the fact that those same people who probably wear those hoop earrings, they're probably going to look at me when I wear those hoop earrings and probably want to clutch their purse or lock their doors twice, 3 times because, you know, A, B, C, or D, because they associate me with being black and, oh, is she black wearing hoops and she probably sound like this, especially she got box braids. Who knows? You probably got to look at her in the side, you put your eye to the side because she may steal something. And yet, if she wears hoop earrings, box braids, or whatever, it's like, oh, she's trying to set a new trend and be urban or whatever. So it's all about the privilege that white people have over people of color, and it is real. So for you to try to erase that experience, which I'm sick and fucking tired of white people doing, it's just frustrating because to me or to other people it sounds like we're whining about it. It's like, nah, we don't care if you wear them, just don't try to pretend like you came up with this trend when we've been rocking it for how long. Like
that white lady who has a company with head wraps.
Yes, and then try to sit here and pretend like she's been doing
Africa.
No, we've been doing this for
hundreds of thousands of years. Africa, head wraps.
All I know is again head wraps is at the beauty supply. So when she talk about she created, I'm like, girl, what? It's like, wow. What? No. It's just that whole, and that's what gets frustrating. It give us the recognition. If y'all gonna do it, use it, whatever, fine. But give us the recognition that we deserve rather than trying to pretend that, you know, this was an invention, you guys made this up, or this just came out of nowhere and we had nothing to do with it. It's just frustrating. And I know that, like you said, like going back to like you're saying with the black coaches and like how they are setting that standard in that program to give that foundation to have a good team because they know what it takes. And not saying that there aren't white coaches out there that don't have that skill, but you know, like you said, there's much more success in that aspect and on that side, and yet
there are black head coaches or black defensive line coaches because they usually all shuffle them to defense. They don't really put them on offense because then you'd be working
Right.
with quarterbacks and go straight there.
Right.
Coach, there are all these black assistant coaches with